Yeah. I believe you have checked on the portal. Last week, there are some activities I placed there.
Yes,
I
have done.
hope you noticed them.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll be able to add more activities so that you can be able to catch up with everything. Okay.
So,
So now I'm going to share the page. Okay. The
so,
screen so that at least you can follow. But it's essentially what we have already shared out there. So, but there are some highlights that I've made to make it more easier for you to follow. Ian, are you able to see that page? Report if you can see the page, okay? Are you able to see the page?
yes, I have seen the notes. Topic
Oh, you are
3,
seeing them.
4, 5, 6. Yes,
You are seeing my screen, eh?
yes, I see it.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Uh, so that's very good. So this is what we wanted to share. This is the class we wanted to look at today, so that we can be able to catch up with where we left off. Now it is essentially motivation, and you know that for workers to perform in an organization, they must get motivated. They must get motivated so that they can be able to achieve organization's objectives. So we are going to look at the meaning of motivation. We are going to also to look at some important facts about motivation. Ian, are you there? Michael,
Yes, I'm here.
you are there. You are there.
Yes,
Good. So in case of any problem, just notify. There's a public chat there. You can put anything that is an issue.
so,
So if you can check the page is quite good, we can be able to go. So as you can see, motivation can be defined as keenness for a particular behavior, or is simply willingness to work in order to achieve determined objectives. Willingness to work to achieve predetermined objectives. It's someone who is come with a lot of chicken around. So what I'm saying is that motivation can be defined as keenness for a particular behavior or simply willingness to work in order to achieve predetermined reward or goal. But essentially, motivation is about desires, it's about wants or wishes, it's about goals, it's about aims, it's about needs and drives. Are we together, Michael?
Yes.
It's about motives and incentives. So we can clearly say that motivation is derived on needs, drives, or motives, things that are within a person and drive him towards achieving a particular objective. And from the highlights, you can also be able to see that motivation process starts with physiological or psychological needs. That the needs may be physiological, like need for food, need for clothing. Those are physiological needs. And they drive someone to or motivate someone to move towards fulfilling those needs. Psychological needs may be needs desire for belonging. For example, achievement. One wants to achieve. So they want to be in a position where they fulfill those kinds of needs. Now, going forward, we can say that motivation is also driven by needs, drive, and incentives, as we have mentioned. But as you can see from my page, there is a definition of needs. You'll be able to take a keen look at the notes on the portal. I've already uploaded this, so you can download it and check it later. But for easier understanding, we can be able to talk about what a need is, and it's quite defined there. However, for now, I want us to go straight to classification of motives. Now, when we talk about classification of motives, we have primary motives and secondary motives. Now, primary motives, as we mentioned earlier, that they are physiological or psychological needs. Primary motives are mainly physiological or biological needs. And these ones are unlearned. They are things that you are born with. Like, for example, when a child is born, they immediately cry for milk. Who taught them about that? No one. It is an inborn thing. Need for water, need for clothing. These are things that are inborn. Therefore, we call them primary motives. They are primarily motivate people towards seeking for such satisfaction. We also have secondary motives. Secondary motives are mostly psychological and learned. They are things that we learn as we live our lives. For example, desire to belong to a group of people, desire to achieve, or desire for recognition, for example, are things that we learn as a result of interacting within the environment. Are we together? Now, on these materials, I indicated this to primary and secondary motive. But also, I want to add to you some two more types of motivation. These ones are not in this part, but I will include them later on. We have positive motivation. Positive motivation is mainly driven by rewards. For example, if someone promises you a good thing so that you can undertake one activity, then you will be motivated towards that, doing that particular activity. We also have negative motivation. Negative motivation is mainly driven by fear or by force, or trying to coerce or force someone to do a particular task. For example, by threatening them with punishment or threatening to withdraw some benefits from them so that they can act in a way that the person wants. So negative motivation is also there. So remember those key classification. We have primary motives, secondary motives. We also have positive motivation and negative motivation. So take those into consideration. Are we together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, report when you are not with us, okay?
Yeah.
Report when you are not with us. In addition, I also want to give you some characteristics of motivation. Motivation, in essence, is an internal feeling. So that's one characteristic. It's something that is inborn, internal feeling, something that is born from within. Secondly, motivation is related to needs, just as we have mentioned a little earlier. Motivation is related to needs. So one has to need something to be driven towards achieving a particular goal. Then three, motivation is goal-oriented. Motivation is goal-oriented. In other words, it is driving someone to achieve certain objectives. Then four, we have already mentioned that is motivation is positive or negative. Then lastly, we have also mentioned that motivation can be primary or secondary. You might be wondering, as managers, like we already agreed that we are training to be managers in various sectors, like management in restaurants, management in logistic farms, management in someone has come with some echo here. Caroline.
Yeah, hi, teacher.
Yes, fine. How are you?
I'm very fine.
Yeah, maybe I don't know whether you are playing my sound.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You can mute yourself. You can mute yourself. Are you able to hear me? Just report if you can hear me. Right?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, as we had mentioned earlier, that we are training to be managers, of course, in various sectors in business. Now, what are the importance or benefits of motivation? Why should managers motivate their workers? This one is not here, but I'll include it later on in some other materials. But one benefit of motivation is creating willingness to work. That is, workers are more willing to engage in work activity when they are motivated. Secondly, managers can direct and guide workers to a desired objective. Managers can direct and guide workers to a desired objective. Are we together? Monica, are we together? Good. 3, motivation increases organizational effectiveness. Motivation increases organizational effectiveness. In other words, companies can succeed because of motivation. 4, that it contributes to good industrial relation in organization. That is peace, harmony, and coexistence actually exists when people are motivated in the organization. 4 is that motivation can remedy resistance to change. Sometimes people don't like change, or maybe when a change comes, no one really wants to embrace it. But when employees are motivated, they are given the incentives to embrace it, then they will like it. Then another thing is that motivation facilitates the optimum utilization of all factors of production. That is, utilization of resources. In other words, motivation drives people towards utilizing resources optimally. We can also say that motivation promotes a sense of belonging. Motivation promotes a sense of belonging to the organization. And lastly, it helps also to develop employees for the future. Are we together? Good. Now, I want us to proceed with what we have here. That was just addition, but I'll post that material so that you may have it. Let's look at theories of motivation. Theories of motivation. I hope you can see my screen. These are a summary of those theories as indicated. We won't look at all of them, but first and foremost, they are divided into three categories. We have content theories, process theories. We also have contemporary theories. We also have contemporary theories. Now, they also have to gain control of information that they have. Another thing is that they want to control others. So they are much more interested in leadership positions as much as anyone can think. Now, they tend to want to see their opponents suffer. In many cases, they like to see their opponents suffer or their opponents put down. In other words, they want to prevail over their opponents. And of course, they desire to have authority. Now, for affiliation, essential belonging. For example, person who belongingness is very key and very essential as part of work. I mentioned that there is also need for security
Excuse
and
me,
need for
Sha.
status. Yes.
Excuse me, Sha. The
Yes.
screen share has stopped.
That stopped.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can't see anything.
All right. I think someone is. Are you able to see it?
Not
Report
yet.
if you can. Not yet.
Now we can see.
You can see it, Good.
Yeah. Sha, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Can you just go to the Macmillan theory? There's something I want to see. Just for a minute.
Macmillan,
Yeah.
Where we have just met. Okay.
Yeah, just a bit from the topic. The need for affiliation and everything.
Yeah. Need for affiliation.
A bit higher.
Here. Are we there? Yeah.
No, we are there.
All right. So
okay, thank you. Now we can continue.
Okay, we can proceed,
Yes.
Right. So remember those key characteristics. I've told you that the various characteristics of the need for achievement, the characteristic of such a person, one who needs power, such characteristics, and one who needs affiliation, such characteristics. And of course, security and status needs are also matters. So you need also to take those into consideration. Okay. Are we together?
Yes.
So just take a look at them and we'll be able to refer. Now, unless there is any question, I want to proceed to Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. This is a need theory that we are quite familiar with, and we have interacted with the same in various different units and different levels, or even in our previous courses. So according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory, just a moment, Abraham Maslow, hierarchy of needs theory, this gentleman identified 5 levels of need, and he classified those levels as basic needs or physiological needs. He talked about safety needs. He talked about social or belongingness needs. He also looked at esteem needs, need for ego or esteem. That is, and also lastly, he looked at self-actualization needs. So this, you can draw a pyramid for it, starting at the bottom with the need for basic needs. That is need for shelter, need for food, need for clothing, and such like. But you remember that in organization setup, what are the basic needs that one might desire, for example? How can a manager or how can a business leader satisfy the basic needs of their employees? So that's what you need to ask yourself. Suppose you are managing a facility, a restaurant, for example. How will you meet your physiological needs of employees? And in most cases, you find that such needs are met by basic salary or wages that employees receive. It's also in provision of, for example, housing. There are employers who provide housing for their employees. There are employers who ensure there is good working condition for their employees. There are employers, for example, who have housing. For example, they provide the house allowances. On top of your basic pay, you get a house allowance so that you can be able to live in a decent abode, for example. So those key issues are very important and for workers. Now, when it comes to security needs, people require to live in a secure environment, for example, safety from danger, safety from loss of life, safety from property, ensuring that your property are safe is very important. So in organizational situation, how do we provide that? That's what we need now to look at. How do we provide safety need of our employees? So in most cases, you find that we do provide that through providing job security. That is giving your employees secure contracts, allowing them to join trade unions so that their issues can be taken care of. Providing fringe benefits. Fringe benefits are benefits like medical benefits, travel allowances, getting them into schemes, retirement benefits, and such like. Normally, is how organizations can be able to provide security needs of their employees. In most cases, you find that it's about ensuring the safety of job or future income, guaranteeing future income. When it comes to social needs, these are needs for belonging. People live an atmosphere where they belong to a particular group. So in many cases, you find that how do we fulfill the needs? Generally in life, we all want to belong to specific families. We all want to belong to a group of people, colleagues, people who work together in organization and such like. But as managers in organization situation, how do we handle that? That is, one thing is that you allow your employee to form informal groups or to get into informal groups. Don't fight those groups as a manager. Allow them to thrive, because sometimes they have more work done through informal groups than formal groups, for example. Then, of course, encourage your employees to join clubs, to join societies, to go for team building activities, organize team building activities so that people can work as one work group. Very important aspects to consider. Ego or esteem needs, according to Abraham Maslow, are need for recognition, for example. There's someone who wants to be recognized, someone who wants to take responsibility, and they find fulfillment in achieving, especially tough jobs, achieving difficult tasks, for example. So the key thing that we need to remember is how can managers provide the esteem needs of their employees? One thing is about promoting them. Another could be giving them responsibilities or allowing them to lead teams, to lead projects, to manage projects, for example, things like delegation of authority. So what you need to be keen on is these key activities that organization can do to help satisfy their employees' esteem needs. So delegation of work, delegation of activities, supervision, promotion, a recognition of work well done, for example. This gives prestige and reputation to that particular employees, and very important. Now, lastly, according to Maslow, we have self-actualization or self-fulfillment needs. This self-actualization and self-fulfillment need is essentially giving your employees opportunity to reach their full potential. In many cases in society, you find that people who have attended or who have been managed to control their own destinies, they are self-actualized. But still, in organizations, you can have people achieve their self-actualization, for example. And in this case, you find that how do we help employees realize that? Challenging work, challenging tasks, but also allow them to grow in their career, for example. Let them build themselves, self-develop, so that they can advance to a greater level of qualification, greater level of roles and tasks in organization. So in this case, you find that it's very important aspect in organization. So what you need to remember is this key area, okay? Are we together?
Yes.
I'll place some question for discussion in a moment on the portal. So, but first of all, let's look at this gentleman called Douglas McGregor. Douglas McGregor also is a famous guy with a theory of motivation. He came up with theory X and theory Y. The key aspects of his contribution is dividing employees into two different categories of workers. The ones that he considered theory X category of workers are the essentially people who must be driven, people who must be followed. They must have a supervisor over them so that they can actually do the work. So in many cases, he suggested that these employees are, on average, they dislike work and avoid it as much as possible. So in many cases, you find that people who will not work unless the supervisor is there. Or when the manager leaves the premises, they relax, they lean back on their seats and say that, oh, afadhali, he has gone, he's been a bother to us, such kind of workers. So they are mostly characterized by laziness, and that they must be coerced, they must be controlled, they must be threatened with punishment for them to work. And in many cases, they don't want to take responsibilities. So those are the kind of workers we are talking about. According to Douglas, he also suggested that there's another group of workers, the ones he identified as the theory Y group of workers. This group he suggested they are mainly interested in work, they like work, and they view it as rest or as play, something that they enjoy doing. And they can be able to achieve, they can take initiative, they want to achieve, they want to take responsibility, they are creative, they come up with innovative ways of doing the work. These are people, even if there is problem, they will find a way of going around the problem to achieve the work. And unlike the theory Y guy, when there is a problem, then they say that work cannot be done, there is nothing we can do about it, there are no resources. But the theory Y guy is somebody who will look for alternative ways of doing or solving a problem. So these are the kind of guys that we need in organization. Now, the question I'm going to give you is this. I want you to take it. What would you prefer as a manager? Would you prefer a theory Y guy or a theory X guy? I know you are going to, majority of us will say we prefer theory Y guys, people who can work without being followed. But do you think theory X guys are essential to the organization? Are they needful, or are they needed in the company, for example? That's a discussion question. I'll place it there so that you can contribute to it. Are we together?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Hertzberg hygiene theory. Hertzberg hygiene theory. Now, this gentleman came up with two-factor. Also, his theory is also known as two-factor theory. Two-factor because there are two factors that he identified. He identified the factor known as the motivating factors or the motivators, or sometimes he called them the satisfiers. And then another group of factors, he identified them as hygiene factors, and also known as dissatisfiers. Why did he mention these two kinds of factors? It's that in organizational situation, there are essential aspects of organization that are very necessary. They are very important, they are needful, but they don't essentially motivate people. And we are going to look at them. Then also he suggested that there are important factors, very essential, very necessary, but they end up motivating people. So we want to look at, first of all, we want to look at those motivators and try to identify with such factors. So as motivators or satisfiers, Hertzberg suggested that these factors, achievement, that is achievement, recognition, work itself, responsibility, and advancement. That these factors motivate people to do more. So they are essential in organization, but they do motivate people. That when one achieves in a particular task, and of course they get rewarded for it or recognized for it, then they are much more better motivated. The work itself, the fact that somebody is working, is in itself a motivator. So these are the factors that he identified and classified as motivating factors. Now, let's look at what the hygiene factors or the dissatisfiers are. Now, one thing you might be wondering, why did he call them hygiene factors? Like, for example, right now what's going on, the COVID-19 and the corona thing. Everyone has to wash their hands. You have to wear a mask. You have to take care. You keep social distance. That's what we are doing right now. They are essential. They are necessary for preventing the spread of COVID-19. However, some of us may not like them. Like, you keep washing your hands everywhere you go. You sanitize everywhere. You wear a mask. There are hygiene factors. We must keep hygiene. We do them not because we like them, but because they are very necessary. So in organization, there are also hygiene factors, things that are important in the organization. We don't like them, but they must be done, for example. And look at some of those factors, and some of them you'll be mesmerized with them, and you wonder whether, like number 5, salary. Why do you think, this is a question I pose, why do you think salary is an hygiene factor? So I'm going to pose that question later on. But what about working condition? Why is it a factor? This one is important because sometimes you find that there are workplaces where working condition is wanting, and people tend to be unhappy with the working condition. Supervision. This is even more. This one can be a hygiene condition, of course, especially if you have a supervisor who is always at your neck. Companies, policy, and administration. This is an important hygiene factor. Very important, but the policy of the company says that you cannot take a leave twice in a month. Interpersonal relationship, especially with your manager, so with your supervisor. Sometimes they are very hard on you, complete this task, complete that task. So all these factors are very necessary in the organization. But one thing is that sometimes they are not pleasing, like we are now washing hands throughout, wearing masks. Some of those masks are uncomfortable and such like. Are we together? Now I want to ask someone, Monica, Catherine, why do you think salary is considered an hygiene factor?
I think it's considered an hygiene factor because you're looking forward to something at the end of the month, so you'll work efficiently so that you can be able to be paid, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's very right. In most jobs, for example, most people who are employed, you just go to that. You wake up very early, like before the COVID thing came in. People would wake up at 5, at 4 to prepare for work because there's something they are looking for at the end of the month. But again, at the end of the month, maybe that salary may not meet all your needs. So it's always a problem. Oh, fight for increment, fight for additional, fight for bonuses, for additional benefits and like that. So that's a good contribution. Let's hear from Maureen. Maureen, you are in here now, Maureen?
Yeah.
What do you think? I believe you work, how is tourism industry, It's been hit very hard, How do you cope?
It's difficult, but we have to wait for things to come on.
To come back,
Yeah.
Yes, You are very hopeful. Now,
Yeah.
what do you think about salaries? Is it truly an hygiene factor, or where can we classify it?
Yeah, it is motivational, because if you employ somebody and the first thing you'll settle on is what you'll pay them,
Yeah.
and they have to agree with the package you are giving them, and
Right.
that package will motivate them even to wake up early, stay at work. They know at the end of the day or at the end of the month, they'll have something in the pocket.
Oh, very good, very good. But this gentleman, Hatzberg, said that it's a dissatisfier. Maybe we can hear from Jennifer. Jennifer, can you hear us? Jennifer?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. What do you think? How is salary considered a dissatisfier? Yet I think we all work to get some pay at the end of the month.
Yes.
I think Jennifer is your line is not very stable. Good. Let me pose another question. Are we together? Can we have one meeting? Now, I believe some of you have worked, some of you have been in organizations, some of you have done their own thing. There is what we call companies, policy, and administration. Companies, policy, and administration. Why would Hatzberg consider it a dissatisfier when it is the policy and administration that gives the employee that opportunity to be in that organization? What do you think? Let me hear your contributions. Let me hear your contributions. Chege, Wangui Chege, this is a new person. Can we hear your contribution? What do you think about companies, policy, and administration? Yes, who is speaking? People coming and getting lost, Wangui Chege. Some of your lines are not very good, okay, but I believe we are going to post more discussions as we proceed with the other theories. Another theory we want to look at is Eldafer ERG theory. Eldafer ERG theory. I think this theory, we looked at it with the food and beverage group, but the others have not looked at it. But of course, we can also look at it here. Now, according to Eldafer ERG theory, he talked about 3 groups of needs. That is, he talked about the 3 groups of needs. That is existence needs, relatedness needs, and growth needs. So ERG essentially means existence, relatedness, and growth needs. That is the needs that he had identified. That existence is concerned with survival, that people need to survive. They need to to exist, so that that is the well-being. Somebody needs to get some income, somebody needs to get some food, some clothing, some shelter, so that they can survive as a human being. You also refer to relatedness needs. That is, it's mostly focusing on importance of interpersonal or social relationships. Like right now, we are much more concerned about our relatives, for example, our relationships, for example, friends that you have, family members that you have, that you want to belong to a specific family. That's very important a need. You also suggested growth needs. Growth need is much more intrinsic. That is their inborn, their inner desire for development or for personal development. This is growth in terms of being in a position of responsibility or being in a position of authority. For example, a person wants to reach to a level where they can be able to be, to have responsibility. They can be able to have seen that they have achieved, they have made it in life, that they are in a position where they can direct their own destiny. They can chart their own destiny. So these are the needs that he had identified. Now, Eldafer tried to link his theory with that of Maslow and that of Hertzberg, so that and those theories, you can be able to see how they are linked to the Hertzberg. Eldafer theory is linked to Hertzberg and Maslow. So we can see the Abraham Maslow's motivation of needs theory. We can check, we can see the Hertzberg motivators, and we can also see ERG theory. So they tended to merge together into one, to see the link, the relationship between the theories. Are we together? Let's look at the process theories. Process theories, we have room expectancy theory. We also looked at this with the DFP group. And according to Vroom, his theory focused on effort, performance, and reward. The theory of Vroom focused on effort, performance, and reward. That anyone can put in. If you put in effort, then that effort will lead to a performance, and that performance will result in expected rewards. That if you put in extra effort, you work hard, that hard work you put into a particular task will give you a good performance, and good performance result in rewards. So like in organization, if you work very hard, you will meet your targets, you'll achieve your objectives, and at the end of the day, you'll be rewarded with good salary, for example. You'll be rewarded with success of your organization, with profit, for example. And that is what the basics of Vroom's expectancy theory. Now, Vroom concluded that there were three such factors that made individuals conclude that there were three factors, each based on individual personal perception of the situation. That is, the first one is expectancy, and that is said that people expect, or they expect that if they put in a good effort, it will lead to an outcome. That is, people always have expectation. Okay, they have hope. They are motivated by the fact that if they put in good effort in a particular task, then it will have a positive outcome. The second conclusion that he made, he called it instrumentality, which he said that any activity that is done well, any effective performance leads to a desired reward. That if you work very well, then your target, your objective will be achieved. And that objective is always what one desired. For example, if you work hard, you put in the best effort in any activities that you do, then the reward, the outcome that you had expected will actually be achieved. The third situation that he had identified was known as valence. Valence, he said that it is the strength of belief that attractive rewards are potentially available, that individual preference or of particular outcome should always be attractive. That if your objective or you are hoping to achieve, you are hoping to perform in a task, or you are hoping to, or you are working on a particular project, then your expectation is to achieve a positive outcome. Then that outcome is what you will get, and it will be attractive. So the attractiveness of reward always motivate people to make effort or to put in effort. Are we together?
Yes.
So remember those three key areas that we have identified, that a person needs to put in effort, and that effort could lead to good performance, and good performance is rewarded. And of course, always people expect that any positive effort will lead to an outcome, and that outcome can achieve desired reward, and that reward is an outcome or a reward that is beneficial, that is attractive to that particular person. So remember those three key areas. I want you to also look at another theory put forward by this gentleman, these people. This one I would allow you to read through it so that you can be able to pick a few things. It's much more derived from the other theory. This Porter and Lawler model is derived from the variables made by or suggested by Vroom. So you can be able to look at it and see how it links to Vroom's model. The last theory suggested that we're going to look at is known as Stacey Adams equity theory. Stacey Adams equity theory is based on the explaining the influence such as feeling, like fairness, equity, and how they serve as powerful stimulus to increase employees' productivity. So mostly it's focused on how influences such as feelings or fairness or equity leads to productivity. For example, in organization, if you treat people fairly, how will that contribute to employees' performance? If you treat people with equitably, if you reward people according to their contribution, how will that improve their motivation? How will increase their productivity? So those are very important aspects as identified by Stacey Adams. Now, there's a table placed down here which looks at the input versus outcomes. For example, what effort you put in and what outcomes you get in. So this actually measures the equitability that organizations need to treat their employees, that you treat people equitably, that you give them according to what they deserve, according to their contribution, and that may give an outcome. So we find that there must be effort, that is work effort, the dedication to work that you do to the organization must be considered. Your level of education means that what effort you place to or you put to train yourself. Another thing is the training, what number of training you have undertaken. Another key thing is experience. How much more experienced are you? And can those experiences be rewarded? Loyalty of the person. The loyalty of the person is very important. How loyal, how dedicated they are to the organization. And of course, the age. Age in this sense means the number of years. The age can be physical age or the number of years that one has worked in that organization. And now the output are the rewards that one can be able to receive. The rewards are the output are the rewards that one can be able to receive based on what they have put in as workers. So such rewards like salaries, fringe benefits are extra benefits above salary. For example, they can be travel allowance, they can be medical and such like. Then we also have travel. Now, travel allowances. There's a number of subordinates, people who are assigned to work under your supervision, for example. The level of independence or the level of autonomy, being allowed to make decisions, very important. Titles, job titles can be motivated. Status symbols, job assignments, time off, opportunity for overtime. So all those are essential output of what effort one has placed there. So Stacey Adams essentially says that if you treat employees fairly, you reward them equitably, then of course it can influence their performances. So you can take a look at all that. So there are additional information given there. You can be able to go through them as a way, just emphasizing on what we have seen above there. Lastly, I think what we're going to discuss lastly is goal setting theory, and then I will end the session, and after which we can go to the portal so that we answer a few questions and do a few discussions. So goal setting theory is essentially targeting, requiring employees to set goals. And of course, later on, we look at management by objective. That is objective, also known as goals. But this goal setting theory requires individuals to set targets, as individuals or as groups, so that the goals or the objectives that have been set is what drives the person to achieve or drive them towards achieving what they had set out to achieve. So this is very important area that you need to look at. So you find that theoretical background of goal setting, that of course these are just related to how setting goals became a norm in organizations. You can also be able to look at that. However, suggestion by Edward Locke about goal setting is important. That is what he had suggested. He had suggested people need to strive to attain goals. According to Edward, people need to strive to attain goals. That goals provide direction and propel behavior. That goals provide direction and propel behavior. That is according to Locke. Also, say that individuals can respond and perform according to the intention of the goals. That individual can respond and perform according to the goals. Then also he suggested that consequences, feedback and reinforcement, consequences, feedback or reinforcement are a result of these responses. So in other words, if you achieve your goals, then there is a positive consequence. So goal setting is very important. So under the principles of goal setting, of course, the setting of goals, SMART criteria for goal setting. That's something that we have already been known, that goals must be specific. they must be specific. Another principle that performance targets must be challenging. So in other words, come up with challenging tasks. Yeah. Then also provide a time limit for goals to be achieved. Then of course there must be commitment to achievement. So look at these principles, and you are able to get to understand all that which is essential. Now, later on, we'll do management objectives, and this is something that we'll discuss later on, especially in topic 8. We'll discuss topic 8 or topic 9 as part of another discussion. For now, I would like us to go to the portal. We are going to do a few tasks, and so that we end this session. I know this session sometimes might be challenging, but don't leave online. Don't log out. Don't log out, because there's still so much we need to undertake. So just someone, I want to pull this one from your portal so that you are able to read through them. So I'm going to create there. I'm going to so I'm going to welcome questions, and I'm going to prepare a chat for questions, and so that we can be able to answer. So now, anyone with any question, you can put it on the public chat, or you can just raise up your hands and ask. Are we together? Any question up to that point? Alice, any question?
No, I don't think.
Are you asking a question?
You are now unmuted. You are now muted. You are now unmuted.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Someone is asking a question.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Someone is.
Yes.
If you are not able to ask, you can put your question on the public chat. So this is just what I told you I will share with you when we had started. So you can be able to see these are importance of motivation. Of course, these ones already are in the other notes, so don't worry about it. But essentially, what I wanted us to share was importance. That is nature, importance, and classes of motivation. Those three areas that I mentioned are over and above what we have had in discussion right away. Now, let me leave this page here for the time being. Importance, this one was not in there, but now someone was asking a question. Is there? Can we have question on motivation from past papers? Yes. Yeah. I'll post them later on. Okay. So that we may be able to. But I can share a page of questions. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna share a page with past paper questions. Is there any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Is there any other question? I'm placing a live chat right now.
There is a question, Mwalimu. July 2024, yes. Question 4B. July
Sorry?
28, question 4B. July 28, question 4B.
Question 4B.
Yes.
Come again.
July 2018, question 4B.
July 2018.
Yes.
Are you able to share it?
Let me try.
Are you able to share it? Yeah?
Actually, try to share kwa notes.
Kwa notes?
Actually, try to share.
Can you share it? just share it. I'm preparing a public chat. A chat so that we can share our questions there.
Yes.
Yes. That we are in topic 7, okay? So there's a live chat there. You can put your questions over there, okay? So you can do a discussion over there, okay?
Yes.
And meanwhile, if you have any short question, you can either ask it live, or you can be able to write it over there, and we will be able to respond to the same. Now, Alice's question. Just a moment. I'm going to show a paper right now. Past paper. Yes. Yes. So, any other question? Anyone with any other question? July 2018, question 4B. Ian, have you been able to? There's an old paper here. Eh? Report if you are seeing it. Eh? You can see some old paper. This is July 20. This is
Yes.
July 2017.
I can see it.
You can see it, right.
Yeah, I can see it.
Can also see it.
Good. These are a
Number?
question. This a moment. Yes, number 6A. Number 6A, outline six measures. Outline six measures that the management of organization can take to motivate its workers. Outline six measures. Are you seeing number? Let me highlight it. Did you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, this is related
Yes.
to motivation. What are the measures that individual can take to that organization can do to motivate the workers? Now, let's see a suggestion, or some of us we can place the answers on the portal. You can write if possible, but you let me hear a suggestion from members. Let's hear a suggestion from members. I hope everyone has picked the question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can
Sure.
give rewards for performance.
So yes, that is Ian. Ian.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Sure.
We can also offer
Yeah.
job security, like contract.
Yes. Job security. Good.
Can you also say about salary increment if someone performs well in her job specification?
Right increment. Yes.
We can also offer bonus.
Yes. That person with a car.
Can also
Yes.
them with respect.
Let me hear from Jacinta. Jacinta.
You can increase their.
You
Hello.
can? Yes.
You give them a higher rank.
Yes. Promotion. Promotion. That is good. Yes. Let's hear from Caroline. You have mentioned one.
Yeah. Hello.
What? Yes.
We can also recognize them, like grant them Employee of the Month award. Stuff.
Good. Recognition.
Yes.
Very important. Yes. That's important. Let's hear from Maureen. Maureen, are you here?
Yeah.
Yes. How can we motivate employees?
By giving them leaves and offs.
Paid leave, not unpaid one.
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody mentioned fringe benefit. Fringe benefit. Now, can someone tell us what are these fringe benefits? Yes.
Bonuses.
Yes. Bonuses. Good.
Medical allowance.
Yes, medical allowance, special allowances. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Someone else?
Sure, can we say overtime charges?
Sorry? Come again.
Overtime charges.
Overtime, yes. Overtime payment, not charges. Overtime payment, eh? Like give them
Yes.
opportunity for overtime, eh? Uh-huh. Let's go on with more suggestions.
Being fair to them.
Uh-huh. Yes. Now I want to share another question here. You can be able to look at it in a different paper. So it's still also under motivation. Did you see that? Outline 4 ways which the management organization can fulfill the self-actualization needs of employees. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good. Let's also take that. Let's take that. Self-actualization needs of employees. So let me give it a proper highlight. You see it, self-actualization needs of employees.
Yes.
Let's see our contribution. You remember, according to Abraham Maslow, that is the one who suggested the self-actualization needs, and he came up with very many ways in which organization can do that. So let's hear a contribution from members. Let's hear contribution from members.
Hello.
Yes.
How we are employees to obtain their maximum. How do I put this? Employee to let the employees attain their maximum, I don't know, strength.
To achieve their full potential. You
Oh,
want to
yeah,
do
to
that?
achieve their full potential.
How do they achieve their full potential? Through self-development. That's what you want to mean. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can encourage employees to achieve full potential through self-development, like promoting or allowing them to take refresher courses.
Delegating. Yeah, you can delegate them work, like projects.
Yeah. Put them in charge of challenging
projects.
Tasks.
Yes.
Yes, that's good. Another?
No, how do we put that? I have not understood that point. How do we phrase it?
Assign them challenging tasks. Assign employees challenging tasks, especially the ones that require responsibilities, like managing projects. Did you get that?
Yeah.
If someone else can give us addition. Someone else. Alice, what do you say? Alice.
Yes.
Yes. How can we increase the self-actualization needs of employees?
Maybe by providing some comprehensive benefits packages.
Providing
some comprehensive benefit packages. So they can satisfy their safety needs.
Like, can you give us one example?
Maybe like job security, physical health.
I think that one is safety needs. That is more of safety needs. Self-actualization, you know, it's up there where employees now are much more interested in being their best. Someone else can give us a contribution.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Can we say promotion? Can we say by promoting them?
Promotion is essentially of esteem needs related. Yeah. But that's a good trial,
What if we say reward high performances publicly? I think when you are rewarding, it's in public.
That is, we can also consider that. But that is more of esteem than self-actualization, because you know, someone who is looking for ego, you know, they are egoistic. Those who are seeking for esteem needs, they want to be seen to have made it. But the self-actualized person is not even bothering about being seen. All they want is that they do their job well and do it well for themselves. They get that fulfillment from the fact that they are able to achieve to perform their job. So mostly it's like giving opportunity for one to be creative. For example, allowing employees to undertake on, like, for example, product development work. That work where they are the ones who direct their effort so that it can bring something new to the organization. Just as we had said, you give your employees challenging jobs, that is where they can be able to challenging and high-risk jobs, where they can be able to take full control and perform the work, and then they just give the results to their managers. And of course, we mentioned the advancement opportunities, like giving them opportunity to increase their skills. Like someone can want to go for degree, go for masters, go for PhD and such like. Sometimes, like in hospitality industry, they tend to give refresher courses to employees, especially during low seasons. You find that. So the essence of it is ensure that you give employees room to realize their full potential, that there's very little restriction on them. Allow them to do their work according to what they can be able to put into it. So are we together?
Yeah.
So just challenging job, opportunity for creativity, advancement in career, opportunity to lead others into work, and also to realize one's full potential. Let me take another question here. Are we together? Is there any other question someone has? There was a question Ian was to put here. Where is it? Ian?
You're now muted.
But before we check on Ian's question, look at this. Look at this. Highlight five criticisms that can be raised against the use of Archibald two-factor theory in motivating employees. Did you see that question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you seeing the question?
Yes.
Good.
Can you read
So,
the question?
I've placed it there. Are you able to see it? But anyway, let me
I
read it.
can. Okay.
Highlight 5 criticisms that can be raised against the use of Hertzberg two-factor theory in motivation of employees in an organization. Did you get it? Someone has babies, eh? Now, did you see the question? I hope everyone has recorded the question.
Yes.
Good. So let's put our suggestions. Let's put our suggestions. Hertzberg two-factor theory.
Can we say?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Can we say that the theory shows that human beings need money or esteem to do their work? Like they have to gain something in order to perform. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Tunakusikia. Nato.
Yeah.
Nakusikia tena umepotea.
Hello. Oh. Unanyamaza.
Ameenda.
Pia Jenso.
Jenso Simoni naona tu hello.
Hello na amenyamaza.
I know. Actually I'm a mute.
Mimi ni kama naenda. MB zangu zikisha, unajua bado tuko na class ya sales.
Sasa ndo nashanga si tushatoamaliza anatutumia notes ndio.
Sijui sasa.
Hebu muulize hiyo swali bana. Na ameenda wapi?
Sijui, ameendea chai.
Hata mimi nataka kuendea chai. Hiyo class next inaanza saa ngapi?
Saa 5. But sasa unajua mwalimu wa sales anakuanga tu mtu wa 1 hour. Na I think niliona ameacha notes.
Kama ameacha notes the better. Kazi siku huku mingi homework.
Nasikia njaa. Leo tuna break.
Hebu toka hapa kabla tushakuja tupate tukiongea hapa.
Akiingia tutamuona hapo.
Na kirecord
na wewe.
Gewa so umeenda? Tuko 8 bado watu wako
break na kijui.
Watu bado wako. Helen,
hebu kuja. Unasema?
Acha nitoke hapa twende tu kwa group.
Sisi kwa group yake. Ulize. Screenshot hizo mani zenye tunashinda tukitumia.
Hizi maswali ndo nime screenshot. Hizo notes sija screenshot zote because uko ndani atatutumia.
Notes ashatuma.
But tunaweza mwambia tutumie.
Okay, hope atutumie hizo.
MB zetu zinaisha wewe.
Ashatuma.
Ashatuma?
Zimetumwa wapi?
Unaona hapo kwa blue button penye tumefungua ndo tujoin. Ziko tu hapo juu.
Ongea na nguvu.
Ziko hapo juu ya hiyo blue
Anasema
button
wapi?
penye tumejoin conference.
Please
Unaona kwa
comment
blue
kwa
button
polling.
penye tumejoin conference.
Penye pameandikwa.
Unanisikia?
Mimi sioni naona.
Penye tumejoin conference.
Sioni.
Ziko tu hapo juu. Hapana, si unajua ni juu ya left, ziko juu ya hiyo blue button penye tumejoin conference.
Kuna notes.
Ziko tu hapo juu. You just download.
Penye pameandikwa shared notes ama
imeasi hapo. When you leave the conference, unaona pale penye mtu una select the unit you are joining. Ziko tu hapo juu.
Nimepajua sasa. Nikitoka nitaiona. Bado sijaona. Sitaki kutoka
you just tap them and then you download.
Sawa.
Ukitoka utazipata.
Ina shida.
Sawa.
Kisha kwani ameenda?
Kama ame left.
Anasema simu yake.
Ama nitaacha.
Ndio amerudi.
Ian.
Ati anasema?
Ian unasema sikusikii?
Anasema simu yake ipotea.
Nato.
Ati nini?
Umepata hizo notes?
Amerudi.
Hapana sijarudi. Ian shamerudi.
Hajakam.
Mimi yuko kwani peke yako ndo unamuona?
Guy yako.
Serious?
Like ako.
Kwani mimi sibu?
Ian.
Ati?
Jensara.
Yes.
Ian.
Umepata hizo
Jensara amenyamaza aje?
Not gani?
Hizo za unit 7 umepata nika download.
Umeshazipata?
7.
Nimetoka kwanza ndo niende ni download.
Nikitoka sidhani
kitoke ina hang mostly kutaka kuingia Kenya. Unajua chako lakini hayuko hapo.
Monica, nimeziona.
Sawa.
Yes,
utatuma kwa group.
Shako?
Maybe net yake mbaya.
Wewe unajua mbizi zangu.
Phone yake imeisha moto.
Tukirudi niambie niingie.
Mimi nataka kuenda, naona nikikosa bundles za hiyo class nyingine.
Jua siwezi nunua bundles sana.
Sasa tutoke ama?
Unaonaje? Sijempata.
Basi maswali yashatuma.
Nato.
Ati nitafanya nini?
Mimi sinataka kutoka mimi nadhani niko na wifi. Niko na 144 MB bota ni.
Ati
Mimi nishaambiwa zangu zinaisha.
Mimi ninao mara 3.
Sikia uzuri pia ametuona. Sasa hakuna haja kukaa.
Bye bye.
Ian. 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 Jacinda.
Nini mnaniza hivi?
Jesi.
Eh? Poa.
Ile wapi Jesi?
Si unaona nasoma?
Hata sikuoni. Video tu.
Sinanisikia sasa. Uone nini?
Uone.
Utaniona ukitaka ni video call.
Video call. Video call sasa.
Una net.
Ian.
Uone video ya nini?
Ian ananyamazaje?
Ian nasema nataka connect video ya kuone.
Haya harakisha. Ian, toa sura hapo. Ian. Ian.
Sasa narudi.
Yeah, Jen.
Toa sura hapo kijana. Alex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mike. What?
Okay, Mike.
Okay.
Hey.
Ni Angela.
Alice.
Yes.
Alice.
Yes, mambo.
Poa sana mambo.
Poa. Ai, sileka kitu.
Anet. Na sinaona amesema jiripoti if you can hear me.
Nani namsikia?
Hata haonekani.
Zero simuoni.
Sasa tutamalizia hivi. Sikuja ni
Watu
mdomo.
washaanza.
Wale wengine walienda.
Jacinta.
Pia mimi natuonyesha hapa.
Nikiuza hapo nalisha. Nalisha.
Hujapea kuku chakula.
Yes.
Nimeweza klasi mapema.
Ndio kapea. Ati?
Hapana, lazima klasi ishe. Ule kana kuja ama tuende. Sijakunywa chai mimi kwanza.
Kunywa maziwa.
Nikunywa maziwa. Si ule kwanza sema nini nikienda sitarudi, narudi tu.
Ati?
Nikienda sitarudi ndo maana nataka kujua kama narudi.
Sisi ndo la.
Kama tu kiendanga.
Nene mchana. Nenda nikienda. Nene mchana. Nikushago, nenda kulima.
Ayo, umeitwa jembe yako hapo nje.
Watu walienda wananigoja.
Wewe ndio nyeta ya sana, uteremke kwa shamba.
Nirudi nikuje class.
Class gani?
Kuna ingine jioni.
Na ingine ya 2.
Inaitwa aje?
2 p.m. Hiyo itakuwa ushadi wewe umechoka.
Na sijakula lunch.
Ndio utapika.
Sindio na mimi nitafika.
Tunaje quarantine.
Yeah.
Quarantine kuna mambo. Aski korosha sasa wewe.
Hebu yugi arudi jamaa Samia arudi. Maika anapotea, ashaenda.
Niko hapa.
Mike, unaona kile yangu.
Niko hapa.
Bora.
Kichwa.
Ona.
Unaona? Kidole.
Ona.
Unafanya
Sasa mimi na share.
Nimekatika nusu.
Unapona?
Mimi napona. Ndio tuendelea kuandika. Sasa sijui ndaandika aje.
acha shida. Wewe anaacha tu
Like
shida.
to connect video.
Ati? Ni connect.
Connect video.
Ambia JC. JC
Kwa
anaogopa.
Nini?
JC anaogopa.
Hata tuko watu wengi.
Leo tulikuwa wengi at least.
Umenya. Kwani ulinyolewa?
Ulinyolewa.
Unajua hii nywele yangu ni kubwa bwana. Mbona kidatu?
Yes.
Mbeni.
Inaonekana wako na nyingi za kuweza watu sambaziwe.
Alinyo su connect.
Ati niko?
Connect video.
Sitaki mnione mmevaa matabara za home.
Kwani mmenyamaza?
Wewe Mike,
ongea.
Umeona? Umeona gorilla umeona kwa inakula nini?
Kuna watu wanakaa tu home bado wanaunga.
Haya Mike umeona. Unakunywa madawa.
Sioni macho.
Mimi nimekonda. Unaelewa? Alinyo. Alex.
Yes.
Alex.
Yes.
You connect video how?
Staki.
Niki.
JC.
Hakuna.
Connect. Jesinda. Umenyamaza.
Tunangoja uongee.
Kwani hiyo Yugi ameenda wapi?
Yugi ameenda
Si
out.
tuliftini tu once. Tunaweza bundles.
Ameenda outing.
Ameendea chai.
Hao wengine wametoroka. Ndio. Hao wengine wametoroka.
Si wanasema kuna lecture nyingine.
Oh,
Kuna watu 8 ndani.
watu 8.
Labda wengine wamemute.
Oh,
Kuna huu mnaona Maureen Akinyi.
Morina King.
Maureen Akinyi.
Nani mwingine?
Na Oyugi. Oyugi yako lakini haongei.
Tabii nitoroke.
Hello mwalimu. Hi mwalimu. We are waiting for you.
Ife.
You didn't answer my question. Non-monetary motivation. Ai, ametoka, amehepa.
I answered you. Angalia kwa charts.
Oyugi
Ian,
ametoka. Eh?
angalia kwa charts. Hizo non-monetary whatever. Oyugi ameleft. Alikuwa mute.
Alikuwa anasikiza.
Alikuwa anasikiza.
udaku.
Amerudi.
Amerudi.
Uongo.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I think my connection interrupted a little bit, but I placed some questions there for you to look at. I believe everyone has picked them. And there is a discussion forum question I've placed there on the portal. If you check on your portal, you'll find it. You can look at it and you can put your contributions through to the portal. Now, this discussion is for everyone to attempt. The forum discussion is for everyone to attempt. And each time you contributed and you post, it will appear. And each and every person will be evaluated based on it. So make sure you attempt on it, and you just click on topic 7, motivation forum discussion. With two buttons with the write-up. Now, I also want to post an assignment. I'm posting to you an assignment. This one you can have a whole week to undertake. This is an assignment that you can do, and the submission is 1 week. I'm going to set time limit for it. Time limit for the assignment, and it's just like this. Like this. find it on the portal.
Hello, Mwalimu.
Yes.
How are you answering the discussion question? We are just replying or
you discussion questions. You will just reply on the portal. Just write a short answer and post it, and we'll be able to. I'll be able to see them. I'll be able to see your answers. So the discussion question is not necessarily restricted to this time, but you can do it even after the class, eh?
Yes.
As for the assignment, you'll do a file submission, but this one you have a whole week to undertake it. So the assignment, you do a file submission, but this one you have a whole week to undertake it. So assignment. You should do a small write-up and you'll post it later on by our next class. You'll post by our next class. So is there an issue with the questions that we highlighted there?
hiyo ya nini mwalimu, hiyo ya Asbach.
Let me highlight them again. Yes. Yes. Ian was asking a question.
Oh, it was that one for Asbach's two-factor theory.
Yes.
That was saying 5 criticisms that can be raised against the use of Asbach's two-factor.
So the criticism. So what is the problem with that? You didn't get the criticism. Huh?
Yes.
Oh. I said, this is what I suggested, what I said, that Ashbag, the group that Ashbag used to research on this, to do research was a small group of people, which mainly consisted of workers in an organization. It's too much noise. It's too much noise. There's someone with
just mute.
Let me mute them. What I suggested.
Can't hear you, Mwalimu. Alice, we can hear your cough. Can you please social distance, please?
Sio corona.
Maintain social distance. Maintain social distance. When you cough.
Sina corona wewe bana.
Utapitia kwa microphone.
Maureen. Maureen.
Yes.
Maureen. Hey, umenyamaza.
Sasa tumekusumbua sana, pole.
Nimekusikia sauti yako sasa. Maureen, mambo.
Klasi imeisha ama aje?
Sijui nini imefanya ya Yugi.
Mike amepotea pia.
Mike amemute. Haya, ashatoka. Jacinta amemute.
Chani mute pia. Mwalimu amerudi.
When you left.
Alice.
Yes.
Hello.
And I can hear you.
Okay. So what I was saying about Matsbag is the fact that the research was done on a small group of people, which is not representative and can not be applied to everyone or in every organization. Secondly, there are motivators that have been suggested, which may not necessarily motivate everyone. Like, for example, not everyone is interested in recognition. Not everyone is focused on achieving or developing themselves. So you find that you cannot apply it to the entire organization. There was a suggestion that salary is a demotivator. Now, there are people who are employed, and the most important motivator is the salary they get from the work. So if you say they are demotivated by salary, then why are they in work in the first place? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes. So many of, if you look at each and every suggestion, the hygiene factor and the motivators, you can be able to look at it whether are they applicable in organization, are they applicable to everyone? There are people, as long as they get their salary, they don't care about recognition. Yes, but there are those people who are very much interested in recognition, interested in the roles that they play. Taking a look at theory X and theory Y, Douglas McGregor suggested that theory X are kind of workers. They don't want responsibilities. They tend to be relaxed, lazy. Now, these people are motivated by the motivator suggested by Archibald. So that's how you make that point. Yeah? Right?
Why? Can you hear me?
Yes. Is there any more questions? Just to put the other two questions that we had, highlight the criticism. That is what we have covered. Outline this one. We also looked at it. Uh, outlining the assumptions of theory Y as advanced by McGregor in motivation of employees. Now, these are just the assumption that we had looked at earlier, like they take responsibility, they are innovative, they love work as if it is rest, and such like. Outline 4 ways through which an organization can meet the needs of employees in accordance with Abraham Maslow's theory of hierarchy of needs. Now, for this one, we had also mentioned them. We talked about giving job security, providing fringe benefits, and such like secure work environment, and such kind of. So this one is as simple as anything else you can find. But now I want us to end this session, the live session, but you can still be on the portal so that you can undertake to those questions that are placed there, especially that discussion. Go ahead and post your answers on that forum. And I've also placed an assignment there. That assignment you can be able to do it within this next week. Next week we'll be able to look at controlling functions. Next week we'll be looking at controlling functions. So make sure you remain on the portal so that you can look at those questions and that are placed there. Now, any last question before we call off this session?
How do you set the attendance?
Attendance?
Yes.
I've already marked it.
Oh,
Yes, I've seen those ones right here, and marked the same.
okay.
Class imeisha.
Unaingia class.
No, the class is not over. It's still on up to 11. But it's only the live session, the screen, the blue button.